Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of Africa Today. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on Monday witnesses the inauguration of Egypt's International Energy Conference and Fair Egypt 2025. This year's 8th edition of Egypt is held at Al Manara Center for International Conferences in New Cairo, taking place between the 17th and 19th of February. Officials said the event explores how Egypt, at the heart of Africa and the Mediterranean, is driving responsible energy transformation. Observers say Egyptian efforts to turn into a regional hub for trade, production and distribution of renewable energy gained momentum recently with the launch of projects for the production of green hydrogen and green ammonia. To shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined by the phone by Dr. Ali Islam, our energy expert. Dr. Islam, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, how do you see the importance of Egypt hosting Egypt's 2025 in its 8th edition, and what's special about this year's edition of the fair?
Actually, this event is very important because Egypt plans to be a hub of renewable energy and green hydrogen and green ammonia,
yes,
with cooperation of the international partners and producing this source of energy, which is actually environmentally friendly, and it contributes to the sustainable development of the country and to benefit all the partners of renewable energy sources which participate in reducing the effect change due to release of carbon dioxide and causing much harm to the environment.
Mm. Dr. Islam, what are the key goals and objectives of the 8th edition of Egypt's conference that Egypt is hosting?
Yes, this is very important because it throws light to the importance of the Egyptian situation or Egyptian position to be an energy hub for the other countries, and to give an example of that we can do this in Africa and in the Arab countries, and also that investment of actually the private sector is very important in this aspect, because the government cannot do everything. The government gives the facilities and what we can offer in terms of land or in terms of infrastructure, and that investors, local investors and investors from the world is encouraged to come to Egypt and to explore this and to have connections with the transport of electricity produced by green hydrogen, and also for the benefit of the country, because green ammonia is a basis for fertilizers, which is very important locally, and to export it.
Yes. Sir, how does Egypt's 2025 contribute to building the sustainable and secure energy future for Egypt?
Yes, it is for energy, it is important to rely on renewable sources. And this Egypt is privileged with its location in the center of the world, and it can easily export these products to other European countries and to fuel the ships and by green hydrogen, which is will participate in reducing the harmful effect of environment. And Egypt is planning actually to have by by 2030, that the renewable energy will have a contribution of 24% of the energy or electricity produced in Egypt. And
Yes.
This is an important thing to diversify the energy sources and don't rely on one energy source. Diversifying it and have also Egypt is planning to, with international partners, to produce actually the solar panels and to export it and not rely on just importing the component, but participate in producing it and to be a hub of manufacturing these solar panels and export it to the African and Arab countries and also.
Indeed. Sir, from your point of view, how Egypt, at the heart of Africa and the Mediterranean, is becoming a driving responsible energy transformation partner here?
It is, as I said, Egypt has an excellent location between all the world, in the center of Arab countries and in the Middle East, and also to Africa. And our relations with Africa and all Arab countries and all European partners, we will benefit from this. And recently it has been contacts with many European partners, the European Community, Cyprus and Greek, and it is our contacts with Africa and Arab countries, it encourages the producer of these components of renewable energy to build here in Egypt some factories to produce it and benefit from this location and facilitate convey our experience to the other countries.
Indeed. Our dear guest, Dr. Ali Islam, our energy expert, thank you so much for your precious input. It was a real pleasure, sir. And moving on to the 38th Ordinary Session of the African Union Assembly of the Heads of State and Government, which opened on Saturday at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. More details.
The 38th Ordinary Session of the African Union AU Assembly of the Heads of State and Government opened on Saturday at the AU headquarters in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. The two-day summit, which brought together leaders from AU member states, was being held under the 2025 AU theme Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through Reparations. Beyond the theme, discussions covered key continental issues including regional peace and security, economic development, AU institutional reforms, and Africa's growing role on the global stage. A key agenda item at the summit was the election of senior leadership positions within the AU Commission, including the chairperson, deputy chairperson, and 6 commissioners. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres spoke during the opening ceremony of the 38th Ordinary Session of the African Union AU Assembly.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli represented Egypt at the opening session of the 38th Ordinary Session of the African Union Summit held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on February 15th and 16th. The Prime Minister attended on behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi.
On behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli represented Egypt at the opening session of the 38th Ordinary Session of the African Union AU Summit held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on February 15th and 16th. President of Mauritania and outgoing chairperson of the AU for 2024, Mohammed Ould Sheikh Al Ghazouani, chaired the two-day summit. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres also attended the opening session. The AU Summit Bureau for 2025 was announced during the opening ceremony, with Angola assuming the chairmanship. The opening session included addresses from the chairperson of the African Union Commission, the UN Secretary General, the Palestinian President, and the Mauritanian President. The member states comprising the AU Bureau for 2025 were also announced. The Bureau, comprising 5 member states representing each region, supports the work of the AU chairperson throughout the year. A handover ceremony took place between Mauritania and Angola. The opening session also marked the launch of the AU's theme for 2025, Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through Reparations. During the summit, Prime Minister Madbouli met with the CEO of the African Peer Review Mechanism, APRM. The meeting reaffirmed Egypt's support for the APRM and its financial sustainability. Madbouli also highlighted the APRM's role in achieving its goals. The Premier said that the approval by an Egyptian-led subcommittee of a supplementary budget allocation of nearly $1.5 million for the APRM, including around $1.1 million from the member state-funded reserve fund. He stated that Egypt intended to focus on administrative reform during the upcoming voluntary review.
The leaders of the African Union countries on Saturday chose a new chief for the branch that runs the organization's daily operations as conflicts persist in 2 of the largest 3 countries on the continent.
As conflicts persist in 2 of the largest 3 countries in the African continent, the leaders of the African Union countries on Saturday chose a new chief for the branch that runs the organization's daily operations. At their annual summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the organization's members elected Djibouti Foreign Minister Mahmoud Ali Yusuf as the next chairman of the African Union Commission in a secret ballot. Yusuf defeated Kenya's former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and former Foreign Minister of Madagascar Richard Randriamandrato. The selection took several rounds of voting. Yusuf was a close second in the first and second rounds behind Odinga. In the following 4 rounds, Yusuf took the lead until he became the sole candidate in the 7th round, with 33 votes needed for victory in the final. He replaces Moussa Faki Mehmet of Chad, who served 2 terms as AU Commissioner. Yusuf, who has been Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Djibouti since 2005, is the longest-serving foreign minister in the African continent. All 55 member states, with the exception of 6 countries that were suspended from membership, are taking part in the summit.
Well, with that, our viewers, we come to the end of Africa Today for this edition. I'm Aysir Abia. Many thanks for watching.